This is Rebecca, the Steampunk Planner. We are back with more. Let's dive in to different aspects of Reimagined by Luna with Melissa. What I'm wondering is, do you get phone calls about people because your name is Reimagined? Mm-hmm. So do people call up and go, hey, I've got this. I mean, we are in the horse country area, saddles, boots, reins, vests, a whole gamut of stuff.
Yeah.
What is your thoughts on that? Just in case, so that anybody that's watching will understand that, yes, your idea is a great idea, but maybe Melissa's not the person to come to.
Yeah, so I primarily make hand-bound books. It can be journals or notebooks, planners, or refillable ones, or leather bags. And if somebody is looking for one of those, but they have their own leather that they want me to make, one of those products out of, I can do that.
Okay.
Depending on what they're wanting to reuse.
Right.
Some leather's too thick for what I am doing.
Okay.
And some of it's too thin.
Really?
Yeah. So, like, for example, leather jackets or coats, sometimes boots. Once you actually cut it down, they have pared the leather down really, really thin and then glued it onto other fabrics or different materials.
For like linings and everything.
Thicker.
Okay.
And then it's easier. It's why it's, able to move around more and that sort of thing.
Flexibility. Okay.
So then if I take all those layers out and have just the leather, it's like, well, this isn't.
You're working with a piece of paper.
Yeah. There's not a lot of structure here. Yeah.
And see, I was even thinking like, oh, I have this at home. I'm wondering. So I'm not even going to bother you with that one because, yeah, I see what you're saying, where you're coming from, because we don't think about the steps of not only just what you're looking for, but why you're looking for that for exactly what you need to make.
Yeah. Yeah, so when people contact me, I first usually start with, like, send me a picture of the thing, and sometimes I can tell from that. And if not, if they're wanting to get rid of it anyway, it's like, well, can you cut a little bit and show me what is going on, and then I can give you a better answer.
Right.
But the caveat is, even if you send it to me, I'm not sure until I actually put hands on it how much we can work with.
Gotcha.
I just recently did a leather bomber jacket. And I told the lady, oh, this project was so cool.
Oh.
It was super fun. I told her, I said, I think this leather's going to be pretty thin. We're probably going to use it more as like accent leather. And then I'll create the actual, we did a tote bag out of my leather that I have. And we'll just, have two colors together.
Right.
Which she was super into. And when I started cutting it apart, I started messaging her and I was like, listen, I think I can actually do all of your bag except for the straps out of this jacket. Do you want me to do it? And we were able to do the whole bag and a little journal, which
Are
actually
you
fit into one of
serious?
the little pockets. So it was
Man, I would love to have been a fly on the wall for that one.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds wonderful.
Yeah, it was a very cool project. I was like trying, making sure that it felt right with the straps and stuff. I was like, oh, I wish I could keep this one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so going with that, a little segue. When you need leather, do you go to leather factories or local leather artisans to get scraps? Or, because I'm looking over there at scraps, those probably are your scraps.
They are, yeah.
Which I love the fact that you don't toss anything out.
Yeah.
I am the same way with my art scraps. I will hold on to, this is a little, itty bitty piece of paper. Yeah, I know. I need it for something.
Yeah.
Seriously. But I love your mosaics. You do flowers on your books, which we will get to later. Sorry, y'all, you have to wait. Do you get by the yard, or is all of the materials you get scraps from other companies?
I met a guy who is getting job lots from factories all over the U.S., some from Italy and some from Mexico, but mostly the U.S.
Nice. Okay.
So job lots are like hides they're not using anymore, like they've closed out a product or closed out a color, or it's a hide that the dye job's wrong, so that factory can't use it.
Right.
Or it's just hides with a lot of imperfections that a factory can't put through their machines.
Okay.
But where I'm doing everything by hand, I can work around, scarring or whatever, branding, whatever the thing is.
Gotcha.
So most of my leather is in like half hides or hides, but I also work, with all kinds of sizes as well. I've got one lady in Nashville who brings me those like squares from interior designer.
Yes, they're
places.
books. Yes. A couple of the things that I do want to mention, because I did bite the bullet and dabble into the leatherworking area.
Oh, good.
Back when I was in doing more cosplay events, there was a group that always wound up wherever I had my company. They were always next door to me. Don't know how. We never planned it. We never requested it, but it always happened. But it's two fairies and a dwarf. They actually all did leatherworking.
Okay.
That gave me the bug to want to play. Unfortunately, I didn't do the necessary research because I already had so much going on with illustration, book covers, my salon. I was piling too much on my lap. So a lot of that research I should have done, I didn't. But one of the things I did find out was the fact that you were talking a moment ago about hides having imperfections. Something as simple as them, like a cow running into barbed wire.
Yep.
That scar, you think we scar up, that stays with them. Mosquito bites.
Yep.
I was dumbfounded when I saw that.
Yep.
I actually went to a leatherworking store that sold by the yard or by the hide. My apologies. It is by the hide. They had to mark all on the hides exactly where the imperfections were so that you understood what you were getting. And to find out, oh yeah, that's a mosquito bite mark. What?
Yeah.
What?
They also have fat wrinkles.
What?
Yeah. The other day I was making a bag and there were all these swirls in it. Some of them were lighter, so I ended up using some of it because there was a lot. And I'm like, oh, this is all,
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I also found it's really interesting. I also found out that hides like alligators, they're not, we've got some big gators out there, but they're not big enough to actually create something. Maybe a wallet.
Yeah.
Maybe the front of your boot.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't realize that when you're getting gator or snake, those are all stamped. Is that what it's called? Where they imprint on the leather?
Oh, it could be. Yeah.
Okay.
It could be stamped. Leather and steak, alligator and steak, it could, those smaller pieces could be from an actual, creature.
Yep.
But you can also tool leather and, emulate that. So
that's crazy.
Either way could be happening depending on what you're looking at.
That is so crazy.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. Did you ever think there was so much about leather that we didn't know? Join us again as we get deeper into the products Melissa makes for Reimagined by Luna. Her website, reimaginedonline.com.